And you also have the organic chemistry quiz. You have 3 things you got to do this weekend. You have Thursday, all day Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I would say wait till after class Thursday, because you never know. We might review about something on Thursday and you would have missed it if you took it already. But if you're going out of town or something for the weekend, you might want to take it Thursday and get it over with. But I would wait until the class is completed, just in case anything comes up that's going to be on there. Okay, so let's just do an overview of the stains. First we did simple stains. We did the direct stain, where you use a basic dye and you stain the cells directly. And here's your examples of your basic stains that you use for a direct stain, which is a simple stain because you only use one stain. Negative stain, I consider a simple stain because you only use one stain. Most books will call it a special stain. But to me it's simple because you only use one dye. And remember, no heat fixing. That's the key with that one. And then here are your acidic dyes that you could use. Today we're going to do structural stains. So we're staining for special structures. Helps us identify the bacteria, helps us understand how the bacteria live inside our patient's body, for example, or even in the environment. There are 2 species of endospore-forming bacteria. Bacillus subtilis is the one we're going to look at today. Capsule, Klebsiella pneumoniae is the one we're going to look at today. And Flagellus spironum volutans is the one we're going to look at today. For these staining procedures, you kind of have to memorize the staining procedure because the difference is with a direct stain, you stain the cells and then rinse away the excess. With the negative stain, you don't stain the cells, you stain the background and you leave it on there. You don't rinse it away. And there's no heat fixing when you don't have to rinse. So you kind of have to know those procedures. The differential stains, you have to know the procedures. But for the structural stains, don't worry about memorizing the procedures. Okay? Just know the different structures and what the bacterium uses them for, like we talked about in lecture. And we'll talk about these tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Okay. I wanted to show you some stuff in Canvas. Today, once you start making your stains, one's going to have to sit 15 minutes, another one's going to have to sit 20 minutes. And that extra time, go ahead and get out your plates and tubes from last week. I have some examples up here. This lady, it's probably impossible to see from there, but this was her first plate. She actually got good separation. She's got a lot of red ones, and then here she separated. Here's some red ones, here's some white ones, here's a yellow one. So she got pretty good separation. So what she did was took one, let's pretend. She took one yellow one all by itself, and look, she got pure culture, all yellow. This guy, well, anyway, that's not a good example. Somebody had contamination. Oh, this one. So this is supposed to be their pure culture of the white ones, and they got mostly white ones, but see that one is a different shade of white and it's very round, and this one's kind of yellow and round. So this is contaminated. When he went to make his pure culture, he actually got 2 contaminants on there. They're not on the streak marks, so it's not from his streaking. It's from when he opened the plate and dust or cough droplets dropped in there. So I just had some examples for you. Here's a good example of a pure culture of Micrococcus luteus, which she got from this plate. It's hard to see it, but she actually has a few little yellow colonies. She picked one off and got that. So I just had some plates up here as examples for you. Okie dokie. And you're going to look at your plates, decide if you got a pure culture or not, see if there's anything that looks like you got more than one kind, or maybe you got contamination on your plate. Take a picture of it. Your broth tubes, you're going to compare your broth tubes to a tube of clear broth, which I happen to have in my lab coat pocket. So if your tube looks cloudy, that means it got contaminated. You're supposed to take a loop full of broth from tube A and aseptically transfer it to tube B. I had one lady got both A and B contaminated. Had cloudiness in both A and B. So I gave her some Petri plates and said, let's see what it's contaminated with. So we streaked it out on Petri plates and we'll look at it in a few days. So you just want to look and make sure that your broth tubes are as clear as this uninoculated. This has never been opened. It's completely sterile. If there's a little bit of cloudiness or sediment or pellicle or whatever, then you know it got contaminated. If you're curious, ask me for a plate and you can transfer it to a plate and we'll see what grows from your contaminated tube. But ideally, you won't have any cloudiness or any growth in your broth tubes. Take a picture of it and wrap up that experiment, and then you can throw all your plates in the biohazard box, and your tubes go in the white racks, and then put your empty green rack on the bottom. All right, ready?